today what we're going to look at is a shelter setup that needs a large tripod out in front. Now you can of course vary the size of this, but a larger tripod works really well. The biggest downfall though with this is that you are going to need larger lumber for this. So you're going to need trees that are 5-6 inches in diameter, 7, 8, 10 feet in length in order to set this thing up. So if you have a permanent camp, this is something that you might want to put there. It might not be most realistic for just a down and dirty one night type camp, but it's a good option and it's something that you can add to your toolbox like we always say, and utilize this in other configurations with smaller tarps and smaller lumber to get the same job done. So the first step after you would of course construct that tripod is take one corner of your square tarp and you're going to drive it right through the center of the tripod itself, toggle it off with a stick or a tent peg, and then pull it back. So that's going to be held in place just with that. So far we don't even need any cordage or line to do anything. So now you can see we have a beautifully set up plow point configuration using the tripod in the front. So most people would look at this and say, well, why don't you just tie it off to a tree? Because it gets better. And this is really where this shelter shines. We're going to utilize that tripod with our fire pit. And now before I go any further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a toggle system. So I'm going to put a toggle on a piece of paracord because I have a hank of paracord with me. And I'm just going to make myself a loop that really easily slides over a section of our tripod. Now what's really nice with this setup from this point is I can hang my pots right over a fire pit. So like our normal fire pit with our tripod, now we just have our shelter connected to that tripod. So with this said, we're not going to have a huge blazing fire because our shelter is very close to this, but it is going to provide us more warmth in colder environments. I mean, right now in Pennsylvania, it's 85 degrees, so this wouldn't be an ideal setup. But in colder weather, you can utilize this, let your shelter block that bad weather that's coming through, all that cold wind, set your fire out in front, small, manageable, enough to cook or boil your food over, and then you're going to stay warm inside there. So we're utilizing everything as a whole at this point. So not only are we setting up a tripod for our food and cooking, we're also utilizing this as a stand for our shelter, and it just works out perfectly. And it's utilization of different skills like this that really takes your bushcraft and your outdoor skill set to a new level, because you're starting to employ all these little things that you learn and combine them to make your life that much better. So like I said, wintertime, perfect setup. The other nice thing with this too is you don't have to worry about that tree right in front of you. You can move this around and you can get the perfect angle to block that wind. And we know in the wintertime sometimes you just can't get that right angle in the woods off a tree. So this works really well because you can get in a nice area, more open. You don't feel like there's that big tree in front of you you're tied off to. Plus you can have your fire. It's like a win-win situation all around. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was Dan Walwack of Coalcracker Bushcraft. Check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com. And until next video, stay in the woods.